there's 3 wires on this. We've got a yellow, brown and a red wire. So in this instance I'm only going to use 2 wires, which is the red and the brown. So it's going to be connected to the power distribution board so that it works as soon as the battery is connected and switched on. Then the flashing beacon light will come on. The other wire is used for scrolling through the different modes that this light is capable of doing. I think there's probably about 5 or 6 different modes, from a flash, a rotating flash, to a instantaneous flash, a double flash, and a fast rotating and slow rotating. So by changing the PWM signal on the signal wire, which is the yellow one, you can make the light do various tasks. Drilled the hole through the top cover. There was one like a dummy amber light there originally, so I just used the fixing of the original as a drilling point to drill a hole through, and made up this little backing plate. So that's 2.5mm thick. I've got the 2 wire connection, so it's plus 5 volts and ground. The signal thing is disconnected, so I'm going to run it in its default position. Switch on the power, and there we are. So I've put the rooftop or cover canopy through the plastic glass panel assembly, so the safety bars are actually on the inside, so it actually threads through this slot here, but it leaves a nice void for the wiring to go through. So I've actually routed it out the back there. There's a gap there, and so what I'm going to do is to run the wire down inside that column, and then I've got the window trim to go on, so that actually feeds on the bottom underneath there and then clips in at the top there. What I'll have to do is to drill a hole where this corner on this frame butts up to the corner there. So I'll drill a hole in there big enough to get the wire through, so I'll be able to feed those through one at a time in through there, and then I can finish the dash panel, which is this panel here. I want to put a small LED light in here somewhere, which works in conjunction with the quick hitch on the bucket. Drilled a 3mm hole. This is a 3mm standard LED. So the end game is to have the LED protruding up through like that, and that will be powered on when the solenoid on the quick hitch is activated. So I'll be concentrating on getting some leads up, passing it through the sub unit, with a couple of wires attached to it, so I should be using 30 grade silicone wire for the job. So I'll tag on a couple of leads on it, and I'll be using a 5-volt circuit, so I'm using a 150 ohm quarter-watt resistor as a current limiter. So that's all I need for a 3mm LED. And so I'll tag that in on the tail somewhere, run a couple of tails out. The flange on that LED, this little flange here, will butt up against the hole in the sub-base unit, so I'll be able to pass through there, pass the leads through, butt that on, and then the other one will come in over the top, and the LED will be sandwiched together. Okay, so I've soldered on a couple of tails now, and I've got the resistor in line in series, so all the hot stuff's done, so that's connected up to the power supply, 5 volts, and see if it works. Okay, we're alright, we're in business. With the two pieces together, you can see how the LED sits into the panel, and it's actually sandwiched between the two pieces there. The next thing to do will be to reassemble the cab unit. So I've already covered this bit where we installed the flashing LED, and I've run the wire down this pillar inside. I've nicked out the corner there to allow the wire to pass through, and I've also nicked out another piece just in this corner here, and that is to allow the glass, or the two pieces, to come together and to fold in together like that. So I'll do that now. So it's a case of putting it into the slide at the back, so having it slightly at an angle, and get it in at the front as well. It's a little bit awkward with the camera in the way, but got to kind of install it in there. So that's in at the front, that's in at the back, so that comes around and joins together like so. So it's in the slot at the front, and it's in this slot at the back. And then this frame will clip over the front of that, so they clip in together. It's harder to get them apart actually the first time around. It's quite a laborious job to unclip these, but if you do it right, if you spend a bit of time dismantling it without doing too much damage, then it goes back in together quite well. So here we are, we've got the cab and the cab window together, so that's all as one. I've drilled a hole through there, and that tallies up with the side panel, so that's the cab assembly would slide into the slots, It's locked in by these two lugs here, but it's also bolted together, so it can be installed all as one.